Annie Ray, and this is
Mason.
Mason. You know where we're going today?
Where?
We're going to go to the Buddy Holly Museum in Lubbock, Texas, since, you know, can't really go anywhere else. Thanks, quarantine. So, but because we're still completing the 50s and 60s rock and roller series, we thought it would be fun to finish with someone who's a local and that I kind of grew up listening to. You know, my mom made sure that we heard that, and my husband really, really is a big fan of them, or him, excuse me. And I think it's pretty cool that your dad took guitar lessons at the same place that Buddy Holly was discovered. So hopefully we'll get to see that place today, and that'll be on camera, okay? So, do you like my t-shirt, Mace?
Yeah.
Yeah? You know who this is?
Do I?
It's my eyes. So, the video we're going to take today, you have to excuse it, it's going to be a little shoddy because it's going to be done on my cell phone camera. But I'll try to edit out, make it look as great as I possibly can, or that I've learned so far, since I'm still learning how to do video editing. But if you would like better quality videos, purchase merch. Links down in the description. And we have a lot more than t-shirts and cups, and we have mouse pads, and we have all kinds of fun stuff. So every dollar that you purchase there is going to go towards, to be honest, if I'm being real with you guys, a new camera. I'm trying to fundraise a new camera so that I can get better videos to put up for you guys. So hope you enjoy the video. If you have any other series suggestions, go ahead and put them in the comments down as well.
Mom.
Enjoy. Say bye.
Bye.
Yeah, this was it used to be like a small, almost like a gas station / convenience store. Looking
Down
at
the
the
street.
stage in the back of it. I only remember because I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade and took lessons there. How to play guitar and everything. And that's, I think I met his niece and stuff like that there.
Yeah, Sherry. Yeah.
I get a little annoying when I'm bored on a road trip. Had to stop at the restroom. Mommy bladder. Now, back of the road.
All right, we'll kind of start with this building, I guess.
Okay.
This was built in 1938. It was originally the train station for the city of Lubbock. So, and then in 21 years ago, we had this section built for the Buddy Holly portion.
So we're here. We just pulled up to the Buddy Holly Center. We don't really know exactly where to begin, but let's get started. We couldn't really go inside here, but I'll put the link in the description for you to do the virtual tour. I got permission from the Buddy Holly Center to go ahead and include a little bit later on down. You'll see some video from the inside of this house provided by the Buddy Holly Center. So I'll put the link in the description and you guys can go see there. Been exposed to many different genres of music growing up because of my multicultural background, and my husband's actually from Lubbock, and then he ended up moving to a smaller town down south, into the not forgetting the beginners of rock and roll.
Right.
Show him, Mason. Show him. Safety. Safety.
So we're about to enter into the Buddy Holly Center. Of course, face masks are required. Social distancing followed. It's actually pretty cool inside. So you won't be hearing me talk too much. You're going to be seeing a lot of the displays and stuff, and then I'll just voice over it later in post. But right now, I'm already seeing a very, 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 very cool sign. So let's go look.
It said no smoking.
Okay, so because there's no video photography allowed inside, I couldn't give you guys the full experience, but I absolutely understand why not. There's just so much, to me, priceless pieces of musical history in this facility that you just have to come and see it for yourselves. A lot of it's privately owned and just rented or on loan to the museum here, so they don't really own it, so they can't really give the rights for us to record it. And plus, in my opinion, if you want to see it, you need to get here and just come and see this entire thing. But I did record some the tour that Mr. David gave us. He was an absolute wonderful tour guide, and he gave us some details, and then we sat through the documentary, and we were able to go through the art museum that they have here, because it is October. While we're recording this, we're in the middle of Dia de los Muertos, and so they have a whole art gallery dedicated to all of that as well.
This gallery is in the shape of a guitar body. His brothers both played guitar and fiddle, and Buddy wanted to learn how to play fiddle like his older brother, and they gave him one. If you watch the documentary, his brother talks about it. The first contest, he was 6, I think.
Oh wow!
And they greased the strings so nobody could hear him. But he won the contest and got some money out of it because he sang.
Wow!
So he was also an avid leather worker.
You said leatherwork?
Yeah, that's his guitar. He made that one kind of after Elvis's guitar strap.
Oh, okay.
He made those wallets back there, and his first music partner was Bob Montgomery. So it was Buddy and Bob, and they cut a 45 record and sent them out to radio DJs with a wallet all across the country. And they only heard back from one guy. And he said, he's like, I don't think you're going to make it in the music business, but I'll take 100 of these wallets. And he almost went that route, but luckily he stuck to music. His grades, he was a pretty good artist. That's from 2nd grade there. His grades were so-so. Not real good.
As with most artists.
Yes. His drafting skills were really, really good. He almost became a draftsman.
And what is that? A draftsman?
Yeah, drawing architectural plans and stuff like that.
Okay.
And this is not, this is just scratching the surface of all the things that he ever had. Because after he passed away, if you go visit his mom and pay your respects, she says, oh, you liked Buddy? Here, have his jacket, have his shoes, have whatever. So stuff got scattered around the world. And I hope those people were really taking care of it. So.
Oh, yeah, I do too. She just really wanted the people who loved her.
Yeah,
part of them.
she was so sweet. But he had the Buddy and Bob show, and they played music and talked about music on Sundays, I think. This is just some of the equipment that was in there.
So he was, before he became famous, he was more of a radio personality and played on the side, or it was kind of interchangeable?
I think they needed to fill some time. Dead air on a Sunday, but people came to like him, and then that's where he met Waylon Jennings, because Waylon was a DJ there.
Oh,
and that's how they became friends.
Oh.
Bass guitar, and said, you got 6 weeks to learn this, we're hitting the road. And Waylon, to the last day, said, I never was good at bass, but if you see any pictures of that tour, he's always watching somebody. He's like, wow, what are you doing over there? It's cool. But he learned to cut his chops on the road.
Wow. I would say my three biggest things. I can't really go into detail right now because I'm freaking out. My musical nerd is on 1,000 right now, and I'm completely just excited to be here and see some of the things that I've seen. But the top three, number one was I have never seen a color photo of Buddy Holly in my life. Not even online. And they have one here. It's a good 8x10 size. I mean, I can see the pores in his nose. I was freaking out about that because it really brought him to life to me. I mean, you grow up learning about him and hearing his music and seeing things, but for me to see the full color photo of him was just amazing. The second thing was the tour sheets. I don't know if you can hear me very well. It's very, very, very windy here, which is great because I'm actually sitting in the sun. There's the tour sheet, the actual penciled in tour sheet where it shows he was going through the different states back and forth and through, and then there is a 3-day, February 2nd and 3rd and 4th gap there where he didn't really have anything on his schedule, but he penciled, you could see exactly where they pinned in the tour and the flight that he took that he unfortunately ended up dying on. And it was just like, it's not a copy, it's not a picture of it, it was the tour sheet, and it was that blew my mind. The third thing is kind of a funny story of how they have a motorcycle that's here in the museum, and it was owned by Waylon Jennings, and that is the motorcycle that they purchased when he was with Buddy Holly and they were all together. Actually, it was Buddy Holly's, if I remember correctly, because my brain is just trying to wrap around everything. If not, I'll correct myself down here somewhere. But it was Buddy Holly's motorcycle, and they were actually going to purchase a Harley bike. But when they got to the Harley store, they looked like thugs. They looked like a bunch of hooligans, so they were pushed out the store. So they ended up going to another store to get this bike. And then I'll put the picture here, or put the clip in and show you the brand. And I'm not good with motorcycles, but I think it was an area. And then they rode those 3 bikes past the Harley shop to be like, you know, kind of one up them. But anyway, that bike belonged to Buddy Holly. Then after he passed away, somehow it made it out of familiar hands, and then they eventually got back and they restored it and they gave it back to Waylon Jennings. And then Waylon being Waylon, rode the bike out of the hotel room into the street and crashed and dented the front of it, and that dent is still in there. So I thought that was the funniest part. Highly suggested tour. Make the trip out here to Lubbock to see it. There's a bunch of other things here in the town as well that you can drive through and see and do all kinds of things, but definitely this is a must come to musical history stop. I'll probably be adding some more later, going into more detail, but I just wanted to kind of come off of the fresh high of coming out of the museum and then watching the documentary that's given here. It goes way more into detail with things. I didn't know that he was so young when he passed away. He was only 22. And it was just an amazing experience. So, see you in the next clip.
Here we are on our way, walking over to go to the statue and the little monument area that they've set up for him, and just to kind of get a look at this iconic statue of this iconic artist. There's just so much information that I can't even cram into this little bitty 20-minute video, just to know that this person was able to inspire so many rock and rollers. I mean, even the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, they have outwardly admitted that they've got some of their inspiration for some of their most famous songs from Buddy Holly himself. They came to see him when he went on his European tour, and he was over in Europe touring before Elvis even made it across the pond. So there are plenty of rock and rollers who state they wouldn't have even had a career unless they hadn't been exposed to Buddy Holly himself. Just to think that there wouldn't have been the foreign invasion of the Beatles. They've openly said that there would be no Beatles if there wasn't a Buddy Holly. So it's just amazing to me that he has made such a strong impact on the world of rock and roll. And my generation and younger, I mean, I wouldn't say that he's been completely forgotten, because there's still myself and my husband, but that's because we were exposed to Buddy Holly and the 1950s and 60s rock and rollers at a young age. So it's just, the point of this video is just to get you guys out there. There's a lot of people out there who are sampling music and quoting artists who they don't themselves even know where they got the sample from, or where they got the quote from, or where the music originated from. So just to be able to visit a place like this and do my part in keeping some of the older musicians alive is just, it was so much fun, and I hope to do it again in the future. So that was our day in Lubbock, Texas. I strongly suggest everyone who's a music lover, Buddy Holly fan, make the trip to come out here and see the Buddy Holly Center here in Lubbock, Texas. We're gonna head home now. Everybody is knocked out and tired, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and go ahead, and that way we can go ahead and make more content for you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to take you guys on this trip that's a little further away, you know, if COVID ever goes away. Bye. All right, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing because I forgot everything I said in the first take. What did I say last time?
You're talking about merch and stuff.
Oh, okay. When we're recording, you can't come with random stuff. You ready? What?
Can we show them some art? I
Art.
can't find mine. Hey, I made a bracelet out of paper clips. I'm not so sure.
All right, okay. Let's hear it for the paperclip bracelet. Woo! Say I love you and I'll turn it off.
I love you and I'll turn it off.
Don't look now. There's a weird guy in a blue shirt following us. Oh, never mind. He's not following us at all. Here he goes. There's a blue shirt following us. There, he's following us. No?